A seismic shift just rocked professional golf to its core. Augusta National, the ultra-conservative club that moves at glacial speed, just detonated a bomb that's reshaping the entire sport. The fallout? It's tearing through locker rooms, obliterating sponsorship deals, and rewriting careers as we speak. This wasn't some minor tweak to the rulebook. Augusta completely rewrote how players earn their way into golf's most prestigious tournament, and the consequences are already devastating. Fall tournaments are hemorrhaging sponsors, agents are frantically rebuilding entire season schedules, and a handful of international events that most American fans have never heard of just became more powerful than nearly every PGA Tour stop. What exactly did Augusta change? Why did they finally pull the trigger after a century of moving slower than molasses? And who's about to lose everything? Let's get one thing straight. Augusta National doesn't make rash decisions. They don't chase trends or cave to outside pressure. This is the club that waited until 1990 to admit its first black member and didn't allow women until 2012. When Augusta finally moves, it's not because they want to, it's because something massive is forcing their hand behind the scenes. And this 2026 Masters announcement isn't just significant, it's a complete demolition of the old order, and the ripple effects are already destroying careers across the professional landscape. The old system just got incinerated. For decades, the path to Augusta followed a predictable formula: world rankings, PGA Tour victories, major championships, and a handful of international exemptions. It wasn't perfect, but everyone understood the latter. Players knew which events mattered. Tours knew which tournaments carried weight. Sponsors knew where to invest. It was a system built on American dominance and PGA Tour control. 6 tournaments just changed everything. Starting in 2026, Augusta will grant automatic Masters invitations to winners of 6 national opens: the Scottish Open, Spanish Open, Japan Open, Hong Kong Open, Australian Open, and South African Open. These tournaments, once considered regional or secondary by many American fans, have now been elevated to the most powerful status in professional golf. One win in any of them is now worth more than an entire season grinding through mid-tier PGA Tour events. Let that sink in. A single week in Japan or South Africa can be more valuable than 6 months of American tournament golf. This shift rewrites professional golf's entire economic structure. In the old system, players slowly built their way to Augusta through points, rankings, and consistent results over time. Now, one explosive week overseas can launch a career straight into the Masters. The response was immediate and brutal. Fall tournaments are collapsing. American fall events, which marketed themselves on Masters qualifying points, lost their biggest weapon overnight. Industry insiders report ticket pre-sales for several fall tournaments dropped by double digits within weeks. One event lost a major sponsor entirely. Others saw negotiations stall as the Masters connection vanished from their pitch. Agents are rewriting everything: travel plans, training cycles, competitive schedules, all thrown out and rebuilt from scratch. Players who spent autumn chasing PGA Tour points are now booking flights to Tokyo, Sydney, and Johannesburg. The PGA Tour just lost control. For decades, the Tour served as golf's gatekeeper. Their rankings, point systems, and schedules funneled players toward American events and kept the Tour at the center of professional golf's universe. But Augusta doesn't answer to the PGA Tour. It never has. And with this move, the club made it brutally clear they'll decide their own future, even if it disrupts the entire industry. Winners and losers veterans are scrambling. Players who built careers dominating fall events now face a harsh reality. Those wins don't carry the same weight anymore. International stars have a golden ticket. For rising talents in Japan, South Africa, Spain, and beyond, this change is life-altering. Under the old system, cracking the Masters field required elite world rankings that took years to build, or miracle runs on the PGA Tour that demanded relocating to America. Now, One National Open victory on home soil can transform a regional hero into a global superstar overnight. Even caddies and coaches feel the impact. Travel schedules have become punishing, with teams bouncing between continents, adjusting to different climates, grasses, time zones, and competition. Training regimens are being completely rebuilt to peak for international opens instead of domestic fall events. As one prominent coach put it, "You go where the doors to Augusta are open, period." Social media erupted. Some praised Augusta for finally recognizing that golf is a global sport, not an American one controlled by a single tour. Others accused the club of abandoning the tournaments and players that built the Masters' prestige. Even Rory McIlroy weighed in, saying the world's best should prove themselves everywhere, not just on one tour. His comment was both support for Augusta's decision and a warning, because everyone understands what's really being challenged here: power and control over professional golf's future. International tournaments are seeing massive surges in sponsor interest and media attention. Companies that once focused exclusively on U.S. exposure are pouring money into events across Europe, Asia, and Australia. Broadcasters are racing to secure rights to national opens that suddenly carry Masters-level importance. Highlight reels from overseas tournaments dominate social media feeds. Forums buzz with debates about which national open produces the toughest competition. Golf, which felt geographically narrow and American-centric, now feels vast and truly global again. For the first time in years, the road to the Masters is unpredictable, chaotic, and genuinely thrilling, because nobody knows where the next breakout star will emerge. Behind the scenes, the PGA Tour is scrambling. Reports suggest tense meetings between tour officials and Augusta representatives have already occurred. Publicly, everything remains polite and professional. Privately, everyone knows what's at stake: control over the sport's most valuable asset, access to the Masters. If players no longer need to rely primarily on the PGA Tour to reach Augusta, the entire balance of power in professional golf shifts dramatically and possibly permanently. Some insiders are calling this the most important decision in modern golf history, not because of who benefits today or next year, but because of what it means for the sport's structure over the next decade. A young golfer in South Africa now has the same legitimate shot at Augusta as a rising star in California. That's not just a rule change, it's a revolution. The old order is dead, and professional golf will never be the same. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Sonnet 4.5.